isn't where the story starts though. For you to get the full picture, we have to go back even further, where all this really began, Season 8. When the Chapter 1 island brought us to a time of pirates, a massive volcano, and a few secret Mayan-looking villages. One of these villages, of course, is the Sunny Steps POI. What's so significant about this village no one really paid attention to? Well, Fortnite has always been inspired by pop culture, and the old movie El Dorado really mimics what Fortnite was trying to do with the Sunny Steps POI. Donald Mustard, who's in charge of stuff like this, clearly was inspired by this movie El Dorado for the Sunny Steps POI. Just for proof reasons, let's place it side by side with Sunny Steps. You guys see the comparison here? Here's why this is important. The name El Dorado is an ancient Spanish name for, of all things, the Golden King. Ring any bells? Think of the one and only Oro skin. That's right, this is the origin story for Oro. It means he's been hinted at or even a part of the island for months. This is clearly where he originated and joined the arc of the Fortnite storyline, but to not waste any time, here's why he's so incredibly important almost a year later in Fortnite Chapter 2. At the end of Chapter 2 Season 1, you could spot a house on the middle island which belonged to someone. Inside, furniture slowly began turning golden, and you could find an ego document on the toilet. When the season released, we realized that this house belonged to Midas, and he is the key to the entire storyline. This is where things become absolutely critical that you pay attention. Midas is the leader of a neutral organization known as the Agency, who are a secret group of agents who have operated on the island for years. At the beginning of Chapter 2 Season 2, Midas decided to join Ego, and together the Agency and Ego formed an organization called Ghost. Although some Agency agents have decided to split off from the pack and join Alter. The rogue agents and Alter together, of course, make up Shadow. So naturally, Midas, who is a greedy billionaire, moves his yacht to the island, builds an Agency headquarters where his house used to be, and also builds an oil rig and other outposts for Ghost. For seasons on end, Midas has led the secret organization which is the Agency, and they've been lurking in the shadows for a very long time, as proven with Lynx and Peely being agents. Now they've shown themselves, but why? Well, we think that Midas, being an agent and explorer who's probably been through the ringer a few times, knew about the legend of King Oro, and has found himself on the Chapter 2 island. Here's where things get confusing. He took Oro as a prisoner and has been harnessing Oro's power of the Golden Touch, which we also assume gave him the eye scar, and here's our proof to back it up. We know that Midas didn't originally have a scar, as you could find a statue of young Midas without one on his yacht. And this exact scar can be found on the Oro skin, which is actually part of the Midas's Revenge set. Soon in the game, you'll see Midas's cutscene, which we'll break down later, but Midas keeps Oro in here to harness his power, as you can see by Oro's pickaxe being right here in the cinematic. Now, how do we know that he's harnessing his power? Well, it's important that you know that the Midas's Revenge skin set description says harness his power and get revenge now, so it was literally right in front of us the entire time. But Midas, in his quest to gain the Golden Touch, is becoming mad with that power and slowly is developing secret plans that we think no one at Ghost knows of. While the Agency works with Ghost to fight off Shadow, Midas is more interested in something else, something much more sinister. Midas, as we stated, has become consumed with the incredible power of Oro. After joining Ghost and building the outposts around the map, Shadow began to fight back and take over these locations. They destroyed the oil rig to stop Midas making money, and they've been taking over locations like the Grotto and are eyeing up the yacht next. Each team has been fighting intensely over each location, and the war is beginning to get to a climax. I do want to briefly acknowledge that Deadpool is kind of just a cameo, and we're guessing he has no real relation to the storyline. He recently just took over the yacht, so I'm kind of just pretending that never happened. It's a funny gag, but in our eyes, no, Deadpool isn't really an important part of the story. Continuing on, we're expecting this war to keep going on for quite a few more weeks, but something has recently emerged on the island which is going to change the tide of the battle heavily. Like I said, while it looks like Ghost is losing the war to Shadow, it's because Midas is more focused on his own secret plans. But what are they? Well, we already know that Shadow is taking over more and more outposts, and Ghost is getting backed into a corner, specifically at the Agency headquarters. Sure, Ghost is desperate to win, but Midas is more focused on stalling so he can build a doomsday device in secret, and that's where everything you thought you knew is wrong. Midas has been fooling all of us. You see, Midas is actually working on some kind of doomsday device without anyone else knowing about it. And from leaks, you could actually see the device, but we've also found a leaked lobby that is going to appear in the future where you could actually view Midas's secret office and doomsday bunker for when his reckoning comes. So why does Midas want this doomsday to happen? We're not sure yet, although we have a really solid theory which we'll cover in a few minutes. Here's the thing about the Doomsday device. It looks like anyone who tries to get in the way of Midas' secret plan gets eliminated, as seen by his wall of trophies, not quite Little League Baseball trophies, but actual heads of enemies. The two most shocking discoveries are that Midas has actually taken out, wait for it, Chaos Agent and Midas' former agent, Lynx. What if we've been wrong this whole time and Ghost aren't the good guys? Maybe Shadow aren't either. Maybe this is all just one big elaborate plan for Midas to distract everybody while they're busy fighting each other over land. Midas is working on his revenge. In taking out Chaos Agent, it proves that he is truly the supervillain of Season 2. But he also took out Lynx, which means he's gone mad with power considering Lynx was actually a part of his team. Maybe she found out about his plans. Anyways, you're probably familiar with the Battle Pass lobby screen, and you know that it's always been underneath the agency, but Midas' secret bunker is even further below. Recently, 5 hatches has appeared in the water surrounding the headquarters. We don't know for sure what these hatches are. At first we thought they could be missile silos, but on second glance it seems that they're directly connected to the Doomsday device, which is being developed in Midas' secret room that we finally got a small glimpse of. Our best guess is that these hatches will open up one by one leading up to the final event, and each one is going to be a power source for this final device. This will likely end up being the live event at the end of the season, the absolute peak of the war between Ghost and Shadow, where every player will have to choose a team and either stop the Doomsday device or allow the opposite to happen. But Tommy, you ask, it doesn't make sense that Ghost, the good guys in this story, are developing a Doomsday device considering Ego spent all this time making sure the island wouldn't be destroyed. Of course, that's why we believe Midas is a Lone Ranger using Ghost as a cover to develop his plans in secret. The reality is, like I said, Midas is the true supervillain of the story. This is one of the most concrete theories we've ever thought of for a Season 2 storyline, but we also have an alternative theory just in